WIOX is supported by the following community underwriters. Peekamoose Restaurant on State Route 28 in Big Indian with farm-to-table cuisine Thursday through Monday, indoor dining from 4 to 9 p.m., and outdoor dining on the moonlit deck. Takeout till 10. Peekamoose.com or 845-254-6500, 845-254-6500. What the Soap? WTS and Company in Prattsville for soaps and lotions made on site, locally handcrafted candles, pottery, jewelry, art, and gifts, and a hand-picked selection of books on homesteading, nature, and local history. WTS and Company in the Prattsville Plaza and online at whatthesoap.com. Brookside Hardware and Auto Sales, a neighborhood resource for tools, used cars and trucks, household and garden supplies. Brookside Hardware and Auto Sales on Route 28 in Margaretville, 845-586-2345, 845-586-2345, or brooksidehardware.com. O'Connell and Aronowitz, attorneys at law since 1925, for legal representation from the routine to the more complex, committed to the fair treatment of all individuals. Family law, wills, trusts and estate planning, litigation, accidents and personal injury, constitutional law, Medicaid planning, elder care and health law, criminal defense, not-for-profit and entity formation, commercial financing. O'Connell and Aronowitz, attorneys at law, 518-462-5601, 518-462-5601, oalaw.com.
Hello. I'm Robert Steed, host of Uncompromising Music, Sunday mornings at 7 and Monday afternoons at 2, right here on WIOX Roxbury. Community radio, live and local in the Catskill Mountains at 91.3 FM, MTC Cable Channel 20, and WIOXradio.org.
Okay, you are listening to WIOX Community Radio, live and local in the Catskill Mountains at 91.3 FM and MTC Cable Channel 20, and at 107.5 FM on the campus of SUNY Delhi on smart devices through the Radio FM app and everywhere at WIOXradio.org, where it's easy to donate. This is From the Forest every Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Talk about a different forest-related topic with Ryan and John. John, how's it going?
Oh, things are good, Ryan. How are you?
It's hot, man.
Well, other than the
it's humid,
miserable day to work outside.
Yeah,
today.
It's like North Carolina out there.
Yeah.
I don't like North Carolina. In the summer, because I've been there and I've done that.
I've never been, but
yeah,
if it's like this today all summer, then they can have it.
They can have it. Yes. That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for the weather to break. Looks like Saturday or Sunday, the humidity is going to drop to 55%.
71 degrees.
Yeah.
That's going to be nice. Good time to go for a walk in the woods. Go for a good hike.
That's right. Well, I might do that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I look forward to fall hikes.
Yeah. You look forward to long walks, long fall walks in the woods.
Fall walks in the woods, all by myself, though.
All by my lonesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started already. It's I don't know. It's the season for me. I start thinking a little bit about deer season already. Paying attention. Saw 2 big bucks in the last week.
Monsters.
Well, put it this way: they're about as big as Delaware County can grow them.
That's pretty big.
That's
right?
pretty big, and both of them they're huntable deer. So I'm kind of excited.
Monsters.
Some would say, but it's all about perspective.
Old Swampy Paws himself.
Nowhere near swamps.
Mountain Paws.
Yeah, mountain paws, mountain hoof.
Nice, man.
So yeah,
The almighty mountain buck, huh?
yeah, we'll see.
That's cool.
Maybe I'll have something to report.
Tonight's show is going to be Catskill Ginseng. Before we get into that, you said you want to talk about New Jersey. Why do you want to talk about New Jersey? I don't want to talk about New Jersey.
Get this, man. Oh, we usually talk about, at some point in the show, talk about bears, or at least once a month, bears come up. So do you hear about New Jersey?
I heard nothing about New Jersey.
That's it. No more bear season in New Jersey right now.
They have like 1 million bears.
They have the highest bear, some counties, the northern and northwestern counties of New Jersey have the highest bear densities. They're off the charts, like over 2 bears per square mile in some areas.
Yeah.
Catskills doesn't have quite that.
How many?
Over 2 bears per square mile. It's like 2 point something.
Yeah.
That's like getting into some deer densities.
That's crazy.
In low population deer areas in the Catskills and Adirondacks.
It's like hard to imagine.
That's a lot of bears.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Roundabout, I don't know all the details. I should have looked them. I wasn't prepared for a book report right now. But basically what happened was that the powers that be that sign off on the bear management plan, someone in the chain of command that is supposed to sign one of the many signatures stalled. According to it came from the governor's office because the governor isn't so friendly towards bear hunting. And he's open about this. He says it right in his speeches.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
That does not,
So
surprise me at
the
all.
management plan didn't get passed, and by law you can't have a bear hunt without a management plan. So in a roundabout way, right now New Jersey's not going to have a bear season this year.
Huh.
And previously, before this, bear season was closed on public lands already by governor orders. Yep.
Well, the Kittatinny Mountains, which is really the Shawangunk Ridge extended south into New Jersey. Man, that's going to be full of bears.
Yeah, imagine. So, but you know what? The problem is whether I don't care how you stand on bear hunting. These bears die.
Yeah.
Usually by human hands anyway. I mean, what happens in a bear complaint? It's a dead bear. So now it's going to be on the hands of wildlife ECOs and law enforcement agents. I mean, there's a bear in someone's garage or raiding the food pantry, it's going to get shot.
You're going to say it's death by bumper or euthanized.
Yeah, or they're going to get hit in the roads or something. So, I'd be willing to see the numbers next year and report back, but I bet there's a similar bear kill as this year. And it's too bad, because that's got a lot of good bear meat that's going to be wasted.
There's a lot of bears now. Growing up in Gardner, New Paltz, Ulster County, never saw a bear. I know there's been bears now for the last 10 years at least, moving into the Walkill Valley, but I saw my first one. Eyes on, crossing the road over by Guilford Schoolhouse Road, and it was a cub crossed right in front of me.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw one chowing down on a guy's corn on Route 209 right by the barbecue place in Kerhonkatonk. Kerhonkson, I mean.
Yeah.
Kerhonkson. And he was literally 50 yards off of Route 209, just chowing.
That's a busy road.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, anecdotally, I have never seen so much bear sign in my life as on Minnewaska State Park.
Oh, yeah?
On the ridge. It was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Well, they're getting around. I went for a walk this weekend, and I thought I was walking the I don't know, the golden ticket of all deer trails. It was wide and beat, and finally, when they crossed the spring seep in the mud, I realized there was nothing but bears. There's many sets of bear tracks, but I identified at least 3 different bears from the size of their feet.
Yeah.
So I was walking a bear trail. I don't know where they were going. Probably somebody feeding bears somewhere. But and then on another walk, I saw a pile of sunflower seeds. So it was bear scat just decomposed to its purest state of sunflower husks, high up, like near 3,000 feet where I was, and the closest house to there was 2,200. That bear had to hike a long ways from the nearest bird feeder.
I believe it because I have a picture of it, actually. Took a picture of some bear scat from one of my hikes a few years back, and it was off near the Trailis Range, and in the scat were apple skins.
There's not a lot of apples in the trailers.
The nearest apple trees are in the nearby Watson Hollow, West Shokin. Yeah, so that bear's, traveling.
Around.
It's not that far, but, it's a lot of elevation to gain and lose.
Right. So, I don't know. The population's growing here, too.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. So, today I spent the afternoon scouting for ginseng.
And?
I found some. It was not easy. It's dry out there. Things are drying up.
Yeah, well,
you notice that?
It's been very hot. Really, since it quit raining in July, we haven't had much rain since, other than a few passing thunderstorms.
Yeah, no, it's definitely drying up, and it was difficult to find some ginseng. Not sure why. We go to this spot year after year, and the first year was great. I don't think anyone's been back to pick it, but I think the deer have. I saw a lot of deer sign around it, so that's not a good sign for ginseng. But, I did find some. About 2,400 feet in elevation. North-facing slope. Right? It's kind of your ginseng belt.
Yep. Typical.
Yeah. It's not to say you can't find it outside of that, But, that's what we're going to talk about tonight is Catskill Ginseng. And a lot of people don't realize that we have ginseng. And it's not only do we have ginseng in these mountains, but supposedly it's some of the best in the world.
Oh, yeah?
That's right.
That's what I've heard.
At least it fetches the highest prices.
Well, prices says a lot.
Price gives information.
That's true.
About demand.
That's true.
Just saying. That whole thing.
Just like my truck right now.
Are you going to sell your truck or what?
I don't know. It's up for debate. We're talking about it.
Trucks are crazy.
Get this. My truck is worth, well, according to what other trucks seem to be priced at on the internet.
Yeah.
They're pricing them $3,000 more than what I paid for my truck 3 years ago. And I bought my truck with 8,900 miles, and today it's got 92,000.
Are you kidding me?
Isn't that insane?
Wow.
It is potentially worth $3,000 more than what I paid.
Holy cow.
I've never seen a vehicle appreciate, ever, other than classic cars.
Right.
I mean, it's a daily driver, man, that drives a lot of miles.
All right. Forget the ginseng on tonight's topic. We're talking about selling trucks.
Yeah, what should John do?
What should you do? Yeah, that's crazy. I know nothing about ginseng prices right now, but they used to be very high. They're probably higher, like everything else. But geez, trucks, man, I can't believe it. But the thing is, what are you going to do? What are you going to buy? Can't find anything.
I don't know.
I already told you this. You got 2 trucks.
I know.
This is an easy one. You guys could stand
That's
to
what we
make
talked
out.
about. Use one truck, buy something. You can pretty much buy a new car with that money, use truck money, and wait for the market to flop, and then maybe a new one will be worth decent or reasonable money.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, ginseng.
I don't know. Ginseng. So, this is an herb, an ancient herb that is found growing in both Asia and North America. So, in China, it's extremely important. most of the market is, I would say just about all the market is driven by China. And ginseng, the word ginseng is derived from two Chinese words meaning likeness of man. It's a mature root that resembles a human. And if you look at that root, it's pretty gnarly. Pretty cool looking.
Seen pictures. I've never actually dug one up.
Don't lie to me.
I honestly have never dug a root.
You are the biggest poacher I know.
Why? Yeah, okay.
When anyone says that, you know they're lying. Just so you know out there.
I've never.
The most secretive bunch in the woods, in the forest. Hunters are not that secretive. They'll tell you. Well, no, that's not true. If it's a good hunting spot, they won't tell you that. They'll tell you about the buck and everything. Fishermen are a little more secretive,
Right.
I think.
Well, because fishermen are more visible.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't say a word because you can basically just find the person's truck.
Yeah.
And there's only going to be a number of spots to go looking for them, right?
Yeah, I would say after that, I'd say people that metal detect are kind of secretive about where they go.
Yeah,
if it's a good spot.
Never been a part of that crowd.
Makes sense because they're not making any more new old spots. And then after that, shangers are the most secretive.
Well, I think shangers are higher on the list, but
most secretive.
Oh yeah, you're going
highest.
from the bottom up.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
gotcha.
right. Yeah. Most secretive.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they won't. These people won't even tell you they do it.
Yeah, I've met 3 in conversation that happened very, very randomly, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I do it a lot. I search for a lot of ginseng." Wow, you do.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you walking in the woods very far, but all right.
You really just need patience, patience and not in a rush. But the leaves of a ginseng plant are borne in whorls, and they're palmately compound. What does palmate mean? It means a leaf that emanates from one spot, like your hand, like the palm of your hand, right? But it's compound, meaning there's more than one leaf. So it has 5 leaflets that are palmately compound. A lot of people will say, I have so much ginseng on my land. And 9 times or more out of 10, it's wild sarsaparilla.
Pinnately compound.
Which is pinnately compound.
That's the difference. Yeah.
If you want to key your eye into looking for ginseng, look for sarsaparilla first. And then you'll say, okay, it looks similar to that. But I'm looking for something that's palmately compound. Now you have good old American ginseng.
Very young.
But good luck, because it likes to hide.
A young sarsaparilla and a young ginseng resemble each other very, very much, because that first pinnate lobe almost connects to the base of the sarsaparilla, so it looks like it's palmate.
Yeah.
But if you get down and look real close, you'll see that it's just slightly up the stem.
And the raspberry leaves look similar, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Of a young ginseng.
Yep.
I found one that was so small today, I was like, is that really a ginseng? I'm like, that's definitely a ginseng. I can't believe this. It looked like a raspberry plant. Yep. Those small ones, you can't see them unless you're on top of them.
Probably covered by other foliage.
Well, even when they're not, it's like I literally only see them when I'm right on top of them. But if I'm up on a rock looking, I very rarely see the small ones. Then you just see the big ones. But we'll go into what the hell that means, right? So there's more economic return, apparently, some people believe, than any other forest crop. I don't know. Maybe. Could be.
I don't know. After talking to the American Ginseng Farm people, it seems like there's a lot of investment that goes into it, and without a lot of return for a long time.
A lot of risk. There's a lot of predation by, chipmunks.
Yep.
I wonder if that's it. We had a lot of chipmunks this year. And last year, maybe.
I think last year more.
Yeah, everyone was complaining about chipmunks. Maybe they ate all the berries, which they do. Cultivation is expanding. In 1987, regulations were adopted for the harvesting of ginseng in New York State. And they were approved by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and that bore New York State's ginseng program, which is reviewed annually. So this has been going on a long time. Background information on ginseng. So this is a shade-requiring plant. You're not going to find it, usually, in a very open area. You said you found one in a recently cut area?
Yeah, it had been cut I remember when it got cut. Probably 5 to 6 years ago. 5 to 7 maybe. And it had been it was the edge of a open spot, actually. I was there with the Catskill Forest Association member with a GPS. They wanted me to delineate the opening with a GPS, and that's when I found it. So it was at the edge.
Yeah, that's kind of rare.
It was really rare, and it was carpeted by fern all around it, and mostly red maple. Now, there was good ginseng habitat up the side slope. We walked the whole property, and uphill there, that's probably where the seed came from, was decent habitat.
Yeah.
But, right, the exact spot that I found it was not anywhere I would look. That's the first thing I told them, was like, look, this is a ginseng plant, but don't think about this as ginseng habitat. This is an anomaly.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be there next year.
Might not.
Be interesting to see. Apparently, Native Americans use it for a variety of reasons. Medicinal. We'll get into the medicinal attributes of ginseng. But Asians have been using this as folk medicine for over 4,000 years. Sold for export in the U.S. since the 18th century. A long time. Apparently, there's a French Jesuit father, Joseph Francis Lafitau. I don't know if I said that right. He discovered it in 1716 near Montreal. 4,600 years ago, Huang Ti, I don't know how to say that either, the first human ruler of China, documented ginseng's medicinal attributes.
Wait, first human ruler?
No. Did I say that? First ruler of China.
It says first human ruler. I was just wondering if there was non-human rulers of China prior.
Yeah, what the heck? Come on, man. So that's wrong. But yeah, so first ruler of China. I don't know, maybe they had gods ruling China before then. I have no idea. Western world is still pretty skeptical about ginseng. A lot of people around here believe in it, though. I believe in it to an extent. The varieties of ginseng. So it's a deciduous perennial herb. It does lose its leaves with adaptogenic attributes. This word, adaptogenic. You're going to hear this over and over again if you read about ginseng. But it's herbs that maintain the body's health by increasing its ability to adapt to environmental and internal stress. We had Bob Bifus on our radio show from Cornell. He's the ginseng guru, and he says when you're younger you might not realize how good ginseng is, but the older you get, the more he's seen the benefit to his body. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, right. But so what else here? There's two forms. There's Panax ginseng, that's the Oriental ginseng, and there's Panax quinquefolium, which is the American ginseng. So I'm not going to get too much into Oriental ginseng, but there's wild Oriental ginseng. I guess it's extremely rare because it's been dug to extinction. Wild types are worth $20,000 an ounce. Apparently they're so rare they probably don't really exist.
Yeah,
I don't know. However, there's a huge cultivated Oriental ginseng market, and it's a lot cheaper. And that's what you're going to find probably in drinks and stuff like that in the store. Natural ginseng root, which has not yet undergone any processing, would be white ginseng. Red ginseng are roots that are processed using steam and heat for its preservation. Roots take on a reddish color. And then we come to the wild American ginseng. This is indigenous to shaded hardwood forest of the Appalachian Mountains. So, when you think of ginseng, you think of the South, right? I mean, that's what I thought. You know, Appalachia and stuff.
They've got TV shows that I've seen.
I have been told that the Catskill ginseng is just way better quality.
Yeah.
And people are very surprised to hear that. But it can live up to 100 years old, which is kind of cool for an herb. A little plant.
Yeah, this plant stands, like a big one would stand a foot tall.
Yeah, that's nuts for an herb to live that long.
Right.
It's harvested by shang diggers. Average plant is 8 to 15 years old, and most preferred by buyers since its roots are considered to be more powerful. The gnarlier, the better. More valuable.
Older root, huh?
I guess in Asia they feel like it has more power in the root. So
they really look like a man when you dig them up.
Yeah.
All right.
You can count the rings, see how old they are. There's like little rings above the root. Count how old they are.
Every year that it grows a new leaf, it has a bud scar or something.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, woods grown. Then there's woods grown American ginseng. They're trying to simulate the wild grown. So it's grown in forests where soil is mounded up to increase yields. Average age 6 to 8 years old. It's difficult to tell the roots apart. Then there's cultivated, and this is worth the least amount because it's most common. Artificial shade in fields, smoother roots. That's why they probably get less money for them. Average age is 3 to 4 years old, and I guess there's imposters. Siberian ginseng, wild red American desert ginseng. I don't even know what that is. Do you?
No, never heard of it.
I've never heard of it. So, they have similar properties but are not true ginseng. So, up next we'll talk about what's the big deal about ginseng and why do people like it so much.
About 3 miles from the Battelle Yard on a reverse curve on down. Not far south of the town depot, Sullivan's shack was found. Back on the higher ground. You could see him every day, walking down the line, with his old brown sack across his back and his long hair down behind, speaking his worried mind. It's a long way to the Delta from the North Georgia hills, and a tow sack full of ginseng won't pay no traveling bill. And I'm too old to ride the rails or thumb the road alone. Well, I guess I'll never make it back to home, my muddy water Mississippi Delta home. Take one, Ted. It makes me ill. You can't dig no roots in the mountainside where the ground froze hard and still. You gotta stay at the foot of the hill. But next summer things turn right. The companies will pay high. I'll make enough money to pay my bills and bid these mountains goodbye. Then he said with a sigh, it's a long way to the Delta from the North Georgia hills, and a tow sack full of ginseng won't pay no traveling bill. And I'm too old to ride the rails or thumb the road along. Well, I guess I'll never make it back to home, my muddy water Mississippi Delta home. It's a long way to the Delta from the North Georgia hills, and a tow sack full of ginseng won't pay no traveling bill. And I'm too old to ride the rails or thumb the road along. Well, I guess I'll never make it back to home, my muddy water Mississippi Delta home.
All right, that's Ginseng Sullivan, and this is From the Forest, every Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Talk about a different forest-related topic. Tonight's topic is Catskill Ginseng, which we haven't talked about since 2018.
Really?
Yes. You don't believe me?
I don't know. I feel like this is at least the 3rd or 4th show on ginseng, but it just feels that way.
Your life is flying by, John.
Don't blink, I guess. I don't know.
All right, that was 3 years ago. I looked it up. And because I was like, I feel like we've just done this show. It's 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So, how about that, right?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, I guess. Let's talk about ginseng. What's the big deal? Well, we already covered the adaptogen, which is a cool word. Adaptogen. And when you hear that word, you're like a little skeptical. I was. It's like an adaptogen. I feel like they're just covering all bases here.
Wait till you hear the next word.
Yeah, this is a cool word. But anyway, let me just say one more thing about the adaptogen. It applies to herbs that maintain health by increasing body's ability to adapt to environmental and internal stress, strengthening the immune system, nervous system, and glandular system. Yeah. The other thing it apparently has is a thing called, and this sounds really made up.
That's what I was getting at.
Is ginsenosides. Ginsenosides. Sounds like it's derived from ginseng. Active ingredient that is obviously unique to ginseng. Demerin type triterpenoidal glycosides. Wow. I'm not gonna bother. Ginseng contains different properties based upon growing conditions. But, yeah, so it has those. You can look those up if you want, see if those are good or bad. But, so, some ginseng, this I do believe, totally. And this is where I'm at on ginseng. And I feel like it probably does do good things. I really do. But some are more yin, some are more yang. The yin apparently is more oriental ginseng. It calms you down. You know, makes you real chilled out, John.
Yeah. I've never had Oriental ginseng.
Me neither. They say the wild American ginseng is yang, and I totally believe this, because if you eat a leaf of the American ginseng, it's like caffeine.
But powerful.
Yeah.
But different.
And
I like
good.
it. It doesn't give you the rush. You won't get the heart rush. You won't get the jitters of caffeine. But you get the focus. And you get the energy, because you're on a mountainside, and once you get them, you're ready to go to the top of that mountain.
That's why I look for it when I'm hiking along, because I'm like, man, it's dragging my butt up a mountain. Sometimes you're not into it. It's not always like, hey, I'm hiking in the woods. This is great. I feel invigorated. Sometimes you're just like, I just want to get up to the top right now.
Yeah.
And that's when I look for ginseng. I'm like, I could really use a leaf or something.
Use that yang.
Yeah, and it does work. It lasts for a good, I'd say, 20 minutes.
Yep, I agree. 20, 30 minutes. And it's just an energized focus is the best way I can describe it. And I love it. I think it's much needed at that point. Because you hiked all the way to 1,800 to 2,400 feet likely to get to this ginseng, so you're already dogging out.
Dogging out.
Dogging down, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, sure. Now you're getting gassed. You're running out of gas.
Yeah. And, if you're heading for 3,800 to the top, then a ginseng leaf will get you there.
That's right. So that's one reason to have some ginseng. Description and stages of growth. This plant emerges in May, as many of our herbs do. It flowers in summer. I can't even tell you what the flower looks like.
No.
Do you know?
No, because only time I pay attention to it is in August, September.
Yeah, I have no idea. So, fruits in the summer. This I know, that they turn red. Right now they're green. The one I saw had little green berries.
Kidney bean shaped.
Kidney bean shaped, yeah. Then they turn red. And that's when they kind of become noticeable. And also, they become noticeable when the leaves start to turn a little bit in September. Chlorotic, fall.
Yep.
The age in rhizome or the root, you can age the root by looking at those number of lines at the neck of the root.
Yep. Collars at the top of the root.
Yeah. How big do they get? I don't know.
I would say broadness across might be 16 inches on a big 3-pronger. I'm talking woods grown. I've seen a few plants in someone's yard once in their garden that were just insane. They were huge. But I'm talking your average woods grown ginseng, maybe 16 inches across and a foot tall, maybe 14 inches tall. Not that tall.
I'm sure people have seen bigger ones.
Yeah, I'm talking average.
Yeah. But now a 3-prong, we'll get into this I guess later, but 3-prong is a legal one. So each time there's a prong, that's a leaf, really. And, that is at least 3 years old and in the state of New York is legal to harvest. Not for commercial use on state land, but on private land. And real quick, while I'm just talking about it, the month is what, September to November?
Yeah, there's specific picking dates, harvest dates. Look them up. They're in the regulations. But it's sometime between September and November. But really, you can't find them in November that easily just because they're all senesced and gone.
Yeah, the leaves are gone.
Yep.
So good luck. Where does ginseng grow? Yeah. Where does it grow? This is really important. Actually, Catskill Forest Association is going to lead a woods walk. It's already full, so I don't know. Shouldn't have mentioned it maybe. But it's a couple weeks from now. And we're going to go over the habitat and stuff about where it grows. But it's a difficult plant. Even if you're in the right habitat, you can have everything going right for you, and you won't find this plant. It just has a way of hiding. It really does. But shade matters. You know, if there's too much light, it doesn't seem to be good. If there's too little light, like a hemlock stand, that's not good.
No.
Yeah. Organic matter. I think that matters. It seems like areas that were more recently cultivated, agriculture, you won't find them.
Right. I agree.
Elevation, it seems like from 1,800 to 2,400 feet. I think the reason for that, in my mind, is that there's less deer browse at those elevations.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they can't grow lower. I think the lowest I ever found was 1,400, maybe 12. I don't know. 12 seems
Yeah, we
wrong.
found 1,400 near
Right.
Arkville.
Right? Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
I'm thinking of.
I think they can grow better down there, it's just that there's more deer pressure.
Right. That was a good site.
Yeah.
We were looking the whole way. And really, we were looking the whole way down that slope. I bet we passed a bunch before we found that one.
We've been at higher sites where all the indicator plants were there and didn't see one. So, I don't know. Aspect. North versus south facing, all that. North facing seems like the best. It's not that you can't find it on other ones. Again, the least browse pressure is on north facing sides.
And, you know, it's less intense for summer sun on that side, too. I think it does play a big role. And
Yeah.
they're always in moist, well-drained sites. You find them with the sugar maple on the steeper slopes.
Yep. Yeah, old growth sugar maple. Although we've found it with maple mixed with oak, a little bit of oak.
Mm-hmm.
Right, is okay.
Found one at the edge of a beech stand, but it was kind of a transition between beech and sugar maple. I just think that it was probably there longer than when the beech encroached on it.
Yeah, I feel like if you see just beech or fern, you're not going to usually find it.
Yeah.
And those two trees or plants indicate high deer browse pressure. Yeah, so, I don't know. Indicator species. Plants that indicate ginseng, it might be around. There's Bainsbury, blue cohosh, wild ginger, maidenhair fern's a really good one. Jewelweed, mature sugar maple, leeks. So if you see one of these, that might not. But if you see a combination, probably pretty good. I think Bainsbury's a really good one. Blue cohosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see all of them together at 2,000, 2,200, 2,400, I'd be looking.
That's right. Be looking. But, you know, a lot of people don't find it because they're looking just in the wrong habitat. Looking in the wrong habitat and probably won't find it. So, Bob Bifus, I remember he was saying he thinks, contrary to the value, the market for ginseng, he thinks we're going to have more ginseng in the Catskill Mountains because the habitat keeps increasing. We have more and more forests that are getting older.
Right.
And more older sugar maple stands and that are conducive to growing ginseng in places that may not have been 50 years ago.
Yeah, and some of these forests, like we talked about in the last couple shows, they're being less disturbed as they once were.
Yeah.
For good or bad. You have to listen to those shows to find out.
Yeah, I mean, typically we talk about how we want to disturb the forest. I'd say a healthy portion of From the Forest podcasts and stuff are about that. But for ginseng, not so much.
The ginseng definitely benefits from the set it and forget it mentality.
Yeah, I would say brook trout and ginseng, you know, and sugar maple and hemlock, they don't need humans as much. So, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to From the Forest every Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. And tonight we're talking about ginseng.
no squirrel. Ain't gonna do a doggone thing but love a dear sweet mama. Oh, you can't read my mind. When you think I'm gonna love you, mama, I'm putting you all the time. Well, my home ain't here, it's down in Carolina. I got the killing down in Georgia, but they show me my sweet mama. You can't read my mind. When you think I'm loving you, mama, I'm putting you all the time. I got a girl in Georgia, one in Dixie too. If you treat me, sweet mama, turn my back on you, good baby. You can't read my mind. When you think I'm gonna love you, mama, I'm putting you all the time. Ain't gonna work on temple, ain't gonna love no people. Put my head out the window, want to drive across me, mama. You can't read my mind. When you think I'm gonna love you, mama, I'm putting you all the time.
All right, Ginseng Blues. This is from the forest every Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Talk about a different forest-related topic. Tonight's topic is Catskill Ginseng. So, conservation and ginseng. How do we promote the presence of this plant? There are some rules and regulations surrounding ginseng. No license is required to dig wild ginseng on private land in New York. A dealer's permit is required for anyone who barters, trades, purchases, or otherwise conveys ginseng for resale or export from the state, including retailers who buy ginseng from collectors and both state residents and non-residents who buy ginseng collected in New York. All right. There's a harvest season for wild ginseng in New York is September 1st to, I believe, November 30th. But I don't think anyone really goes after ginseng in November because the leaves are gone. So the sale of fresh green ginseng is prohibited from January 1st to August 31st. But I'm sure there's a lot of people picking ginseng right now.
I was going to ask you, on your hike, did you see any random weird people with backpacks coming out of the woods?
No. If you see a guy with a backpack on right now, a small backpack, yeah, could be a shanger. Who knows? But yeah, August is the time for the poaching season. And yeah, people are preparing. They might put them in water to try to gain a little weight before they sell them, all that good stuff. So the sale of dried ginseng is prohibited from April 1st to September 15th, except that dried ginseng weighed and recorded by the state by March 31st may be sold at any time. So, state law requires, and this is important if you're picking, right? Requires that all harvested wild ginseng plants have at least 3 prongs. That's 3 leaves. That's 3 palmately compound leaves. And does not allow the collection of wild ginseng plants with green, unripe fruits and immature seeds. So they have to be ripe and mature.
And it has to have fruit.
It has to have fruit. Does it have to have fruit? Yeah.
Right? Has to have red ripe fruit.
I don't know if it has red ripe. It says, and does not allow the collection of wild ginseng plants with green, unripe fruit and immature seeds. I don't know. It doesn't say you can't pick them without seeds, but I'm not sure, John. That's a good question.
That's something you got to look into. Somebody's got to look into.
Somebody.
Well, because the plant that I found randomly, I told on the radio show, I think last week, it was right in the middle of a log road. Had 2 prongs.
Yeah.
A third, clearly had a third prong. Got nabbed by deer.
Damn deer.
And that had no fruit.
So now you can't...
So now it's illegal?
No, because it doesn't have that prong.
Well, it had the stem, and it looked like some type of growth. Like
All right.
Like the plant was trying to regrow it.
I think that's legal. I'm not sure.
That's
but
big.
I don't think...
But
Because a lot of them don't have seeds, because the chipmunks get them.
That's what I'm talking about. So I wonder... I don't know.
Interesting.
Plant that fruit.
Yeah, so if you get it, you should plant it. And, that's what I was taught, is that from another shanger, is you bury it, just press it into the soil, and hopefully you can get some to grow. I mean, the old thing was that you'd find ginseng growing in some tree's roots and stuff or under a rock, and that was probably some old-timer who put it there, But who knows?
You know how chipmunks like to dig burrows in tree roots?
Nah, let's go with the old guy.
Let's go with the old guy.
Come on.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I like it.
That was old Hiram. He did that
Okay.
back in the 1880s.
That 100-year-old root coming out of the tree.
He said, try to get this root out with your screwdriver.
I'll show you.
I'll get you. So, threats to ginseng. Deer, of course, the chief consumer of vegetation, as we talked at length about last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go listen to that. Over-harvesting and habitat requirements. And I would say the habitat's improving. Over-harvesting's tough to say. I don't know. Not sure if it's being over-harvested or not. But how can we help ginseng is you can cultivate it. I know a friend of mine who has it planted near his house. Doing great.
Yeah, those are those giant ones I was talking about.
Yeah, oh, you saw them?
Yeah, I know where they're at.
You know where they are? Yeah, they're right next to his house.
I've seen them. They're big.
They're really big.
They're way bigger than you're going to find in the woods.
Don't be touching his ginseng.
I would never. I would
You
never
will be shot.
I would never touch his property. I wouldn't touch a blade of grass without an invite.
All right. Can't be talking about names here. Deer management, of course. I don't know. There's something weird going on because it seems like on certain sides of the mountain there's a lot of ginseng. You go on the Rondout Valley side, the soil is even better in some places that I know of on the West Shokin side. And I don't find any ginseng there. Remember, I found one in that cliff, underneath that cliff where deer didn't go.
That was up in
West Shokin.
Yeah, in Moon Hall, right? We found it together.
It wasn't in Moon Hall. It was in Watson Hollow.
Watson Hollow. That's right. Yeah.
So I think that's about deer. I have to because it's so browsed in there.
Yeah, true.
I mean, very little grows, but it's such a rich site. And I mean, the reason why ginseng can grow in the Catskills is for probably the same reason why sugar maple grows in the Catskills so well. Calcium-rich, well-drained sites. So there should be a lot more. I think the deer are keeping it at bay. And people probably picking it, I would imagine, too. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Although I've been finding a lot of ginseng near the trails lately. These guys are getting lazy, man. Or they're going in the hard-to-look places and they're right off the trail.
Oh, that's right.
That
Walking right by. Yeah, that's what people say about deer hunting, too, That big buck, maybe he's laying right from the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, that happens all the time. Get back to your truck, there's a buck, literally next to your truck.
That's what I'm saying. That's where you gotta look for ginseng, too.
Yeah. That's right. I know. So, yeah. Harvesting older plants. Harvest plants that are at least 5 years old. How do you know? There's one method. And ginseng contains palmately compound leaves, 3 to 5 leaflets per leaf. And then you know it's about 5 years old. Normally it takes at least 5 years to grow 3 leaves. So I had that wrong before. So it normally takes at least 5 years to grow about 3 leaves or prongs. There's a second method. So you can either count the leaves or the prongs. Second method is to count the number of stem scars on the rhizome, tissue that connects the plant to the neck of the root. If there are less than 4 scars, then leave it be. 4 plus current growth equals 5 years. You got that?
I got it.
All right.
So, back to that browsed two-pronger that I found.
Two-pronger.
If I counted the bud scars, and it had more than 5, it's legal to pick.
I think you might be fine. I think you have to take the prongs out with you, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
I think so.
See, you got to look up these regulations.
Yeah, this could be bad information, man. This could be a disinformation issue from the forest right now.
Don't listen to anything we've said.
Don't listen to anything on this program. No, you can look this up really easy on DEC's website. I believe so, because you'd have to prove that it's that old, although you have the root with you. Interesting. I'm pretty sure you have to take the prongs out with you.
Okay.
You know?
So what's this with, I hear about Changers cutting heads off, cutting prongs off. I've heard this.
Yeah, I don't know.
This? Yeah, someone was telling me. I went and cut my prongs off right before the season started.
Oh, probably so other people don't find them, man.
Yeah, I know. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
So people blame pickers, right, for but I don't know. I've talked to a couple pickers, and they're super protective of their spots, right? So they'll go in before the season starts or during the poaching season, right? If they're afraid of people poaching, they'll go in and clip the heads off.
That's messed up.
Well,
how the hell do you find them? Yeah.
They won't find them. I think they're clipping like two-prongers and young plants. Yeah. So they're preserving their patches.
Man.
So they have something to go back to. And if that's being done, then there's seed source being spread. So you can't totally blame pickers for low ginseng numbers, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of state land out there with a lot of areas that can produce ginseng. You got to really cover a lot of land.
I was going to say, there's some areas out there that's a solid day's hike to get to. Who's going to go out there and pick ginseng? You know?
A lot of people are like, well, I can hike a lot one day. Well, then you won't find any. Ginseng's not like that. You have to slow down. Mm-hmm. You know, get your cup of coffee out or a cigar or something and just stop moving.
Yeah, they're like rattlesnakes. You got to dang near step on them to find them, right?
You can't cover that much land. If you are, you're probably not seeing much. Not unless you got a really good eye. And hey, I'm sure there's someone out there who can do that. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
I got to stop. Today it happened again. It always happens like this. I'm like, man, I'm not finding any ginseng. I look down, there's a small little guy just staring up at me. I'm like, son of a gun. But then I saw that big one, and I was like, all right, finally. Berries, 3 prongs.
Nice.
Nice ginseng.
Nice.
Hidden. Underneath a fern.
Good. Keep that fern there. That deer's going to find it on you.
Yeah, between 2 down logs. Another reason to keep some coarse woody debris down in the woods. Because the deer are lazy. They didn't feel like going between those 2 down logs.
I should have sent you up there with a trail camera to put on that deer trail. Because you're going back in 2 weeks or so or whatever.
I'll put a trail camera. Give it to me.
Well, no, because then I got to go get it or something.
I'll go back up there.
You're going to go back up there?
Yeah.
I want to see how big this buck is up there.
Something's up there.
That's what I'm saying. It could have been perfect scouting opportunity. You're going to go up there in 2 more weeks, take the camera down.
I know, it's big beefy ones up there. Well, usually there's not much sign up there.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's a big pile of fresh, steamy buck scat.
Well, you know, small deer don't make big turds. So
that thing was shiny.
It's fresh.
I tell you.
It's fresh.
I don't get excited about scat very often. Yeah. I could smell them. You know?
That musty smell?
All right, so we're done talking about ginseng tonight, and we only got about 3 minutes. Have you ever taken, you get your cast iron really hot? You should try this.
Okay.
All right, so you just got done cooking your deer steak. Okay?
Get it hot.
Now it's really hot still. So you just took it off. You're waiting for it to cool. You got to try it, man. Put a few drops of maple syrup in there, and it caramelizes, just like you would make maple sugar.
Yeah.
And butter. And hopefully you already have salt in there if you're a person with taste buds.
Sure.
And then cut your steak really thin, man.
And dip it back in.
Yeah, and as you swish it around, it kind of caramelizes more into sugar. It's really good. Just try it. Just saying.
Yeah,
I think I invented something awesome. That's what I'm saying here.
Okay. Well, I had a deer steak 2 nights ago. I didn't do it like that, but I'll do the next one.
I'm doing it tonight again. It's gonna be great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what's on the ticket tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah, Julia's going to cook. She did an awesome ham last night.
That's cool. Yeah, no, it's going to be steak tonight. So.
Yep. So, went out to the Finger Lakes this weekend. Went out fishing.
Yeah. And?
Caught some big ones. 10 and 11 pounds.
Holy cow.
Caught a bunch more fish than that, but the two biggest were 10 and 11 pounds. The longest one was just shy of 31 inches.
Jesus.
Took minutes.
Lake trout?
Lake trout.
Eat them?
Not yet.
That's a big meal.
Well, the reason I kept them is the reason why I wanted to get lake trout. Going to Maine, and everyone's doing a dinner. We're going to Maine for a week, and going to be 9 people up there. And everybody's doing a dinner over the trip, and I'm going to do lake trout.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
that's cool. Wait, you freeze them?
Yeah, they're frozen.
Yeah, nice.
Vacuum sealed, frozen. Big fish. Fun.
That's really big.
Caught them vertical jigging. So you get over top of them in the boat, and you get the fish to react and chase it. And you're reeling up out of like 100 feet or so, 95, 100 feet of water. And a 10-pound fish that hits your line when you're reeling upward, it sends your rod tip into the water sometimes. It's like a freight train hitting it. Then they fight for many minutes.
Huh.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
90 feet. Yeah, those are crazy, crazy deep lakes, huh?
They get a lot deeper than 90 feet, too.
It's ridiculous. Can't imagine. Well, that's tonight's show. It was Catskill Ginseng, and next week I think Mr. Gary Mead's coming on. So, all right. See you then.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, the neon lights were flashing and the icy wind did blow. The water seeped into his shoes and the drizzle turned to snow. His eyes were red, his hopes were dead, and the wine was running low. And the old man came home from the forest. His tears fell on the sidewalk as he stumbled in the street. A dozen faces stopped to stare, but no one stopped to speak. For his castle was a hallway and the bottle was his friend. And the old man stumbled in from the forest. Up a dark and dingy staircase the old man made his way. His ragged coat around him as upon his cot he lay. And he wondered how it happened that he'd ended up this way, getting lost like a fool in the forest. And as he lay there sleeping, a vision did appear. Upon his mantle shining the face of one so dear, who'd loved him in the springtime of the long forgotten year, when the wildflowers did bloom in the forest. She touched his grizzled fingers and she called him by his name. And then he heard the joyful sound of children at their games, in an old house on a hillside in some forgotten town.